Flash your time with TripleG. Brace yourself for the things you'll see. From comic books to toys and more. And all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff. We love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, and we are back with my good pals as usual. We've got Efren. How are you, Efren?
Hey guys, how's it going? Peter, 2 Sundays in a row.
I know. Is it?
Yeah.
Did we do? Oh yeah, we're on your show last Sunday.
You're on my show. You were my guest host last week.
Maybe we should just take over Sunday nights again, guys. Maybe we should a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Take over. Why not?
Yeah.
James, how are you? Are you well?
Heyo, I am very well. Thank you for I like an impromptu. You know, are you free tomorrow night? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Of course.
I love shitting on bad things, so like, I'm excited about that too.
Is that a sexual thing or what's that? Is that a...
It can be.
Yeah.
I'll leave that open to interpretation.
Okay, chaps. Well, so I'm going to get through in a second what this show is all about. And before we do that, just going to quickly jump to the old chat. We've got Hoodrat. Nice to see you, Hoodrat. Hope you're well, bud. Hope you're well. We've got Terry. Have a good show. Not having a great week. We'll catch the rewind. I hope you're feeling better, Terry. We hope you're feeling better. Love to you and the missus, because I know you're both not in the best of health at the moment. We've got C4 Darkman. I'm ready. Good stuff. And we have got Hang. Can you take Captain America pick up? Well, we're going to get to Captain America. We're going to get to Captain America in a bit, Darkman, because me and James have done a review on Darkman.
Oh, is he talking about the 90s one?
He's talking about the 90s one.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Man-Thing movie. That should be on there. I totally forgot about the Man-Thing.
Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen the TV show, but I'm sure there was a movie a while ago.
It was a direct-to-DVD movie.
That's right.
From 2005. I've seen a Caravaggio Garbage episode, and there's a really funny bit. It's like a montage of one of the characters like looking for his friend Rodney. He's like, Rodney. It's really funny. I would mind doing that on the Horror Channel at some point. Anyway, maybe tie into a Marvel thing.
So back in the day, Efren, you'll probably remember this, but back in the day, Marvel Comics had a magazine that came out called Marvel Visions. And I remember they did a whole thing about Man-Thing when it was came out and the special effects and stuff. And then it just seemed to bomb. So yeah, that's an interesting one. We've got Phil. Nice to see you, Phil. I hope you are well. Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Bonjour. Bonjour, my good friend. I hope you are well. This will be full of bad takes. Absolutely. And we've got Andy. Perpetual Comics. Nice to see you. I remember doing YouTube. I'm also very aware I don't have a special emoji next to my name. TripleG Army is quite intimidating.
It's only $4.99 a month, man. Absolutely. So, you know, get on there.
Pull your finger out, Andy. Andy will have to do it. Send us some pictures today, clean pictures for a change, of his portfolio of posters, and it's predominantly jock stuff. But some stunning images. We'll have to do maybe a show. You should do a video, Andy. Remember how to do videos, Andy? Do a video for your YouTube channel. But yeah, maybe we can show them off on the Killer Comic Show. Right, let's talk about Marvel's worst videos. Fuzzy's saying it's overrated, Andy. Don't worry. Thanks, Fuzzy. I appreciate that. Let's crack on, guys. Why we're doing this show tonight? Because we don't normally do a show on a Sunday. Me and James have recently done 2 videos about the Hulk.
We're going viral.
We're going viral. Yeah. I've had viral issues for a few. Anyway, we did the Incredible Hulk. That's gone crackers. I say crackers. We've got nearly 9,000 views on that.
Just in a week, it's your second most watched video now.
Yeah, it's done really well. So,
which just shows, I think, people really want from your channel, which is me.
Do you think? I mean,
yeah,
how many
I
years
think
have
so.
we been doing live shows together, James? And it's not worked out.
I imagine if you didn't have me, what the numbers would be at right now. I mean,
it'd be tremendous. So that video has done incredibly well. We followed that on with in that video, in the comments, lots of people said, I think you've been negative about the Ang Lee Hulk, because I think we'd made a comment saying it was cack. So we said, if people want to watch it, we'll watch it. We watched it.
And we were right.
It's
crap.
Right. Yeah,
absolute shite.
So yeah, that wasn't the best. But what happened was it was a bit like the White House on Friday night. The comments just erupted into anarchy and war. a couple of individuals in particular getting very upset, and we had things thrown out where like only true Hulk fans like this movie.
I hate when people use that terminology. Like, you have to like every single thing.
Was what would people know about liking or not liking this movie? The creator of the Hulk was a producer on this film. Ergo, it must be a masterpiece. Have you looked? Stan Lee's a producer on pretty much every Marvel movie, so I'm not sure that really works out. Wayne Deacon, who's in the chat, he got into a fight with someone in the chat in the comments of this video, which was fun. So yeah, just some interesting stuff. But it got us to thinking that, you know, everybody has their own views, their own opinions, and we respect people's views, or at least I do. James, not so much. James literally said on the video, if you like this film, you're stupid or something.
Yep. Something along those lines. That does sound like something I would say.
Yeah.
I'm very opinionated.
Yeah. But yeah, people will have different opinions, different views. We've got lots and lots of comments in the chat, like I say. And then I stuck something on Instagram and basically said, tell me what the worst Marvel movie is. Rightfully so, a few people came back to us and said, what are you classing as a Marvel movie? Are you just saying MCU films or just any movie that Marvel have made? And I said, just anything. And it's one of my most interacted posts. We've got tons and tons of comments. So what we're going to do tonight, guys, is I'm literally going to list or show you images for all the films that people have mentioned. Some might surprise you, some won't. And we're just going to have a chat around them, whether we've seen them, like them or not. Again, in the comments, please do let us know whether you've seen them and what your thoughts are. Before we do that, let's just quickly jump to the chat. We have got Big D. Oh, here he comes. Big D. Everybody else in the comments, apart from one individual who, when I said what's the worst Marvel movie, gave us a TV show. Apart from that, Dave was true to form and bashed Disney. So I've got a slide just for you at the end, Dave, about Disney and all the rest of it. We've got SM, nice to see you, evening, hope you are well. Phil, it's worth joining the membership for free comics and nudes. Don't send everybody the nudes, Phil, just yourself. Do a video, wash your mouth out. Come on, Andy, come on. We've got Leon, nice to see you, Leon, I hope you're doing well, good. SM, Peter needs to start paying James.
Yep.
I think just spend time with him is payment enough. Phil, conquering the algorithm, absolutely. Is it just me, or isn't James incredibly loud? I mean, yeah. I mean, a lovely accent, but Jesus, turn down the treble.
Maybe everyone else is too quiet.
I heard you. You're pretty loud, man. You're scaring
You
me.
are pretty loud. Yeah, you're scaring Efren. You are scaring Efren. Did you hear that, James?
Well, nobody else said it, so
Well,
I'll take a second opinion on that.
Yeah, I'm docking you.
Okay,
Well, you've had a second opinion. You've had Andy and you've had Efren, and you've got me, so that's 3.
Well, you're on, but you can't really tell when you're on the screen. Efren's not even wearing headphones,
Right.
man.
In the chat, tell me, is James too loud? Or
Hashtag.
And I don't mean in general. I mean like physically, is my volume currently too high? I don't mean am I a loud mouth? I know I am. Way too loud. Well, guys, you got to come in. You know, it's not like we've been doing this for years.
Bartman has started to learn how to pole dance. Thanks.
How is that? Is that better?
So, you are adjusting it now. I thought we were waiting for the chat. I thought we were waiting to see what people are feeding back.
I've got enough of that. I've seen enough.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
We can
Have you got lots of
move on.
comments?
Everybody's saying I'm too loud. Apologies. If that's better, just let us know.
Fuzzy says one of you haven't seen ET.
It's very true.
That's very true.
Wow.
That's very true. Craigie, I'm just trying to get through the chat. We've got loads of content, loads of people commenting, which is great. Watch your tongue, James. Man thing is terrible. I see you making us want to watch
I never
it.
knew there was a man thing.
Yeah. Fuzzy, way too loud. Turn it down, loud ass. Very, very, very loud. Wow, James, I tell you he's loud and then he talks.
They might just be having a pop at me. I don't know. You know?
Look at this. This is nice.
entirely possible.
This is nice. No, this is nice. Bit of support. Only person supporting. So
Thank you.
Yeah, taking the stance that the other 2 people are wrong and James is right. Yeah. Not sure. More importantly, why isn't that's correct, Fuzzy? You are right. Do apologise.
I mean, at this point, why bother? Why bother changing it?
It's a bit 3-5-4-4. Time is brown to turn it. Ephraim,
I'll just back away from the mic a bit.
You'll not
so
have
I'm a
heard
bit
of
far away.
Mrs. Brown's Boys, Ephraim, have you? It's like a cultural classic in Ireland. It's one of their biggest exports, I believe. Is that right, James?
Yeah, in entertainment it is.
It's dog shite, Ephraim. It's one of the worst things you'll ever watch.
I think if you're Irish, you find it very funny.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody has a nanny like that, or like a relative that's like that.
Oh, it's awful. Just awful. No, not for me. Not for me.
It's Mrs. Brown.
Only true TripleG fans have a signed nude of Peter. That is true. That is true. Okay, guys. So, like I said, everybody has. Oh, crikey. SM says I'm.
She does.
Like,
She really does.
Wow. Wayne Deacon likes Mrs. Brown Boys. That tells you everything you need to know, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's crack on because we've got loads to get through. Going to start off with this is what started the fight off. Really was the Hulk. Ephraim, I'm very aware. Sorry. SM, my nan looks like Mrs. Brown. And you confirmed it. You said, yeah, she does look like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
man. Tosh.
In drag.
Okay, so this is what started off. And Ephraim, I'm aware that we've not really got your take on it. We've had 3 versions of the Hulk and a version of Red Hulk, really. I'll start with you, James. Which is your favourite version of the Hulk? Not Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
It's like I think in terms of like his portrayal in the film, I would probably say the Incredible Hulk. But I design wise, I think the Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie, really nailed it. Like I think it's the right tone of green. He's not too like tight in terms of like you can't see. I find it really uncomfortable to look at the Ed Norton version because he's like you can see his tendons under his skin. He's so veiny and everything, which is a bit off-putting. So I think the Avengers look is the best, but I think like the Incredible Hulk, he's a monster. Like he's he kills people in that movie. Like that first turning scene where he just like rips guys apart nearly. Like it's just so cool. So I love that. Like so I think Incredible Hulk for like the portrayal of the character, but the look I would say Avengers.
See, I think I like the Incredible Hulk look more. I like the veininess. I like the monster look. You should be scared of him, I think. So, yeah, I like that version. I do like Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, mind. I hope to see more of that. How about you, Ephraim?
I agree with James. I think the Avengers Hulk, that first one, and I'm talking about his character too, not just his appearance. To me, that was the ultimate Hulk, so to speak. I love that, and I like the way he looked too. It reminded me of Hulk like from the 60s and 70s. A little mindless brute. But to me, that art-wise, just the way he made him look, that was the best for me.
Have you seen the Eric Bana one, Ephraim?
Oh yes, I've seen it. Yeah, when it first came out. Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I think I liked it because it was the very first Hulk movie that I remember, and it didn't, have nothing to compare it to. And I go, wow, we're finally getting a Hulk movie. And I like they did have his origin in it, how he, became the Hulk. But I mean, looking back on that, what you guys did, I seen your video. I go, yeah, there's a lot of it. It looks bad now. But when it first came out, I loved it. I went, oh my God, it was a Hulk movie, a superhero movie. I think that's what drew me more to it.
Yeah.
But now after all these decades of seeing these movies, I haven't seen it since then. I go, if I would have looked back on it now, well, yeah, it's a little bit cringeworthy, some parts of it,
Just jumping to the chat, guys. We've got Fuzzy saying Lou Ferrigno is the best Hulk. Yeah, I was talking.
Say that again.
Lou
Ferrigno.
I was talking to my son about this the other day because he'd never seen it. Yeah, loved it because you were saying it is literally just a bloke painted green. He says, yeah, that's what we rolled with back in the day. It was good stuff. Why does Peter like veiny things? Because I can't see any. No, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, I do love it. I love a nice veiny thing. James is very sensual.
I don't know what that's in reply to.
That'll be about you looking at the Hulk's body and things, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Is it because you can see his belly button more in the Incredible Hulk one?
I've never even noticed Hulk's belly button.
Yeah, because I know you have a thing for belly buttons, don't you?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah. I do like the Avengers Hulk, but like the Norton one as well. Prop Hulk sucks. I would agree with that. And he's confirming I've met James. He's not sensual at all. Lou is cool. Yep, I'd love to get his signature. He's one of the big guys I haven't got a signature on. I want an luminous green signature on a Hulk book. Do you think it would be better or worse if they did a Ruffalo Hulk origin at the same time as Black Widow movie? I would like to see do I need to see an origin of the Hulk?
Yeah.
Well,
I would like to see him go back and see more of a proper Hulk. I don't like brainy Hulk at all.
I think they'll revert back at some point. But I for a long time thought it would have been cool, and in retrospect they shouldn't do this, but like that they would like refilm Ed Norton's scenes in Incredible Hulk and like insert Mark Ruffalo into it. But it's just that's a pipe. Why would you do that? Really?
Do you know what I would be happy with? I would be happy with each of these Hulks having, you know, the one. Oh, don't shoot us, Fuzzy. One of the best things about the She-Hulk TV series was where they redid the old TV series intro.
Yeah.
With She-Hulk. I'd love to see them do that for these versions of the Hulk.
Yeah,
the
that'd be
same
cool.
tune and all that. That would be pretty cool. Innie or outie? Discuss. I think he's trying to rile you, James.
So.
Okay, let's move on to some of the things people suggested as worst movies from Marvel. Like I say, these are people's personal views, so you might like some of these, you might hate some of these, you might not even have heard of some of these, because a few of them I had to Google because I wasn't sure. Like the first one, Efren might have seen this, but I haven't seen it. Just before I get that, sorry, just to say there's thousands, well, maybe not thousands, there's tons of Marvel movies out there that we're including in this, not just MCU movies, as we said. So, first one that was suggested was this. You familiar with this, any of you?
This is the 1970s, 71 Doctor Strange TV movie.
This is 1978 Doctor Strange. Made for TV pilot movie with the hope that this would get picked up as a TV series afterwards. Dog shit, apparently. Absolute dog shit. Yeah, I've not seen it.
Is it on you? That sounds like a great
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
video to do.
I mean, sadly, James, for you, every film that's been mentioned here that I think, yeah, that looks crap, we are going to watch for. I can do this all
that's
day,
that's perfectly fine. I don't mind. It's interesting. I think it's even interesting to see just like how media portrayed comic book stuff at that point, you know, and what they go with and what they don't. Like I thought the Spider-Man 70s stuff was really interesting to watch as well, you know.
So this apparently was dull as ditch water. It was more of a medical procedural kind of thing for the first 3/4 of the film. He was facing off against Morgan Le Fay.
Right.
I have to say, I had a quick look at some of the stills and things on YouTube, and it looks a bit rough. Efren, you've not seen this one?
I've not seen it. And if you guys do a show on this, send me the link because I would like to see this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I would just out of the campiness, I want to see it now. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm fascinated by some of these early Marvel movies, and me and James have watched a few of them on the channel, and we're going to get to a couple of them in a bit. But yeah, this is the one that's totally passed me by. I think I was aware there was a Doctor Strange film, but I don't think I've ever hunted it out or looked for it. Anybody in the chat seen this? Let me know if you've actually watched this one. Fuzzy's saying the collar takes the piss. Absolutely does.
Is that what the costume looks like in the thing though, or is that?
Yeah, I think
that
so.
that is in terms of like a Doctor Strange costume on TV. That looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's accurate at least. Like
It's
mostly.
the Anchorman Part 3 with that tash. The two 70s Caps films. Well, we're going to talk about one of those in a bit, mate. I'm pretty sure that's a very unauthorized porn version of Doctor Strange. Yeah, he does look a bit like Magnum PI. So yeah, that's a one I think we'll have to check out because it does look very interesting, I think, to me. Okay, so bit of a mix of films that people have talked about. We'll start off with Elektra. Lots of people mentioned Elektra. I think this was the film that was mentioned probably the most from people sending us stuff. Interestingly, I've gone back and watched the Ben Affleck Daredevil today. We're going to do a little show on that in a bit. Interesting.
Don't you dare! Oh, we're gonna have a fight over that one, I think.
I can't remember Elektra much at all. I do know Terrence Stamp was in it.
Yeah, he's Stick. There's a lesbian kiss in it because I remember that was nominated for Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards that year. So that's my and there's a character with like tattoos, and the tattoos come to life. I saw this like close to after it came out. I don't really remember that much, like aside from those things about it. So I would be curious to give it another go and see, is it that bad? You know?
Yeah, I'm keen. I mean, I like Jennifer Garner, and there's talk that post her Deadpool appearance, apparently they were talking to her about doing another movie. Yeah. What do you think of this, Efren? Have you seen this one?
Yeah, I seen it when it first came out. Electra, I mean, I did like her in Deadpool, so they brought her back for a reason because she's a popular character in the comic books. But yeah, this was just a run of the mill movie. I barely remember seeing it, but I remember I did see it. It didn't captivate me when it first came out, but I'm glad the character came back in Deadpool. I thought she was awesome.
Yeah, she was very good in Deadpool.
Yeah.
But I think for me, for a lot of these, a lot of the ones that people have mentioned in the list, it's interesting because I know I have seen a lot of them, but I can remember very little from them. And that for me kind of tells us that, yeah, I mustn't have been that enthralled by it if I've blocked it out. I remember very little of Electra, I have to say. I can't even remember, James, you're saying that there's a guy whose tattoos come to life and stuff.
Yeah.
Cannot remember that at all.
I remember I thought it was shit. I do remember that I thought that. I just don't remember that much of, like, in the movie itself, any of the action scenes or anything that really stood out. Like, I know most of it's in a forest, I think, or feels like it.
And here's a one that I do take exception from. So this is the first one that I think, I disagree. Howard the Duck. Now, fair enough, I haven't watched Howard the Duck for maybe 20 years, but I remember loving this at the time. Absolutely loving it. I mean, it's a bit weird. I mean, it's a bit dirty. But I remember loving the bad guy. He had like weird eyes, that lasers that came out of his eyes and stuff. And you guys seen this one?
I've never seen it.
Me neither.
Never watched it.
No. That is a one to add to the list.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that would be a fun one to go back and watch because, like I say, it is a bit weird. It starts off in his home world and then he gets kind of blasted to Earth and gets into an interesting relationship with a young lady. And there's a kind of I can't remember I'll tell you who it is. He wasn't in Beetlejuice 2. The dad from Beetlejuice 1.
Yeah.
Who I think is getting into trouble.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he's called. But
he's in Ferris Bueller as well, isn't he?
Wasn't he Jeffrey Jones? Is his name Jeffrey Jones or something, I think?
Might
Jeffrey
be.
something.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
But he's the main bad guy in it. But in terms of special effects, practical effects for the duck, Howard, pretty damn good.
It was ILM. George Lucas, I think, was producer on this and everything. It was going to be Robin Williams, and he recorded a week of it, and then he said, "This is shit. I'm not doing this anymore." And they had to get somebody else. I feel like I might be completely wrong because I've not seen. I've seen some clips and some weird stuff where there's like kind of sexual moments with the duck and like human women.
It's a bit strange. Yeah.
But I think watching this now, I'll like the kind of 80s-ness, the 80s charm of it. You know what I mean? Like that'll kind of come off a bit. I think.
I seem to remember big scenes of him playing a guitar and things like that. I think it's a bizarre film from memory. That's definitely one to go back and watch. Efren, Quantumania. Did you like Quantumania, Ant-Man 3?
Looking back on it, when it first came out, any Marvel movie that I go see, I'm appreciative of it. But looking back on it now, I go, no, it wasn't a good movie at all. Going back into the quantum world and looked more like a Star Wars movie at the end. All these spaceships and MODOK, the character, what they did to him. I was like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? So. Yeah, this was a weak film. It wasn't a good way for Ant-Man trilogy to end, that's for sure. I was hoping it would end on a higher note. The first two movies of Ant-Man were great, but this one it was just bad, So I didn't like it. I look back on it now, I go, this wasn't a good movie to see, unfortunately. What
do you think, James?
I liked it more than most people at the time. In retrospect, there's some big problems with it, but I think it's one that I could, like, if I was scrolling and it was like 10 minutes in on TV, I'd probably sit and watch it. I think Kang is incredible in it, and Jonathan Majors' performance is incredible in it, and I just think he's so captivating in that film, and that's the most we're going to get of that character now. So, like, I think it's it's interesting, but like,
do you think?
Yeah,
because I think he might come back, because he's pretty much been. I mean, I might be wrong. Tell us in the chat if I'm wrong, but I think everything's been dropped and things now, hasn't it?
Yeah, but they've already, cancelled a movie around his character and reshaped it and everything. So I just feel like they're not going to want the drama of that,
I heard, I forgot which link it was on Instagram, but they're going to bring him back to end his storyline. And I think eventually that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe show up in Secret Wars
Yep.
or
If that's the case, it sucks for him because he was supposed to be the tentpole of this whole franchise, and then that just got snaked away from him for something that maybe wasn't his fault, you know. But I think it's decent. It's not terrible.
I think it lives and dies on Kang's performance. If you didn't have such a powerful performance from Jonathan Majors, I think it would be just a dreadful film.
Sort of a shame that there's not a better movie around that. I think is the thing. If that was the performance in like Kang Dynasty, I think you'd be pretty satisfied with it. If he didn't get defeated by a bunch of big ants at the end, you know, like sort of.
And the biggest, well, one of the things that irritates us most about that film is you've got Bill Murray in it, and he's just totally underused. Or, I mean, there's no point in him being in it, to be honest. Anyway, moving on from that, we've got Fantastic Four. It's a bit of an interesting one. Efren, you're a big Fantastic Four fan. Did you enjoy this version of the FF?
I never saw it.
Not seen this one?
I've never seen it. I just didn't. For some reason, it just didn't click with me. I'm surprised that I didn't go see it, but I just said, nah. I don't know. I just didn't go see it. You know, it just didn't register with me at all. You know, and I thought it was going to be good. You know, because it looked good. You know, like the previews. You know, the sneak previews. But I just never, for some reason, I just never saw it. You know, then when I heard the thing was basically didn't have a trunk on, it was basically naked throughout the film, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? You know, so I just didn't watch it. You know.
Yeah. What do you think, James?
I have tried 3 times to watch this movie, and I can never get more than 20 minutes in before I'm just like, I just can't. I've literally tried 3 times. I was on an airplane trying to watch it and just couldn't. So like I find the story around it fascinating. I love that like there's so much bit, so like any cool bit that's in the trailer is not in the movie at all. Like there's a bit where the Thing like airdrops out of like a military helicopter. It's just not in the movie. All the posters and everything are like this kind of like half destroyed city, not in the movie at all. And like apparently like the original movie as it was filmed was like had like Galactus and Silver Surfer and stuff in it, and like Doom was going to be a herald of Galactus and stuff like that, and they just kind of scrapped all that and made a really bad movie. So I find that fascinating, but I will at some point watch it. I'm sure you're going to make me watch it at some point, but I just think it's just hard to watch. It's just dull.
I don't think this is as bad as everybody makes out. I have to be honest. I've sat through this. The transformation scenes, particularly Reed's, it's like proper horror. It's proper body horror. You know?
Yeah, that's how they pitched it, I remember. And I remember the first trailer was really cool looking. I was digging the vibes. Like,
so that's all very cool. All of the stuff with Doom and the negative zone and or whatever it's meant to be and all this kind of stuff at the end, utter crap. Makes no sense. And it kind of... But the idea was there, I think. It's I don't know, it's got some good points. It's not a good cohesive film.
Yeah.
But there are some interesting elements to it, I think.
there is I saw one sequence of like Doom, I think it's when he first wakes up back on Earth, but he's like walking through like the facility and he's just exploding people's heads, and I'm like, that's cool. I like that. That's, you know, I dig that. So there's some cool stuff in it, I guess.
One thing that I know the movie hasn't come out yet, the Fantastic Four movie is coming out in July. The Thing in this picture and the Thing that they showed in the previews of the movie that's coming out, he's too small.
Yeah.
He should be bigger than anybody, but at least a foot. Because, you know, of the way his rocky body. So hopefully he is taller than anybody. I didn't like that at all. You know, I hope he's taller.
Hopefully he's bulked up for the actual film.
Exactly.
And then we've got Madam Web. Now I'll start off on this. Utter crap. I haven't got a positive word to say about Madam Web. I think I hated, and I'm using the word hate, I hated everything about this film. The performances, the special effects, the ridiculous script. I hated it. James.
It is a level of bad that like few films can reach, I think. But it is so bad that it's hilarious. Like it's just I was in awe watching it of like how is this what they went for with this? Like the fact that there's like anytime the villain opens his mouth, his lips don't match what he's saying is hilarious. Like, you know, so I just it's such a train wreck that I just find it really entertaining to watch. So like I will watch that again at some point in my life, I'm sure.
Yeah. Efren, have you seen it?
Peter, I did homework and I watched this yesterday. If you guys like controversy, I like this film.
Oh, Efren.
I thought it was good.
Power to you, man.
Huh?
Power to you. I'm not gonna say.
I was ready. I came in. I go, oh my god, I'm gonna watch this just to see because I know they're gonna talk about it. I go, oh, there's 2 hours of my life that I'm never gonna get back. I didn't find anything wrong with this film. I'm sorry. I thought it was entertaining.
Okay, do you not think it was a bit of a prick tease though to like have?
I'm not done talking.
Oh, sorry. Okay, apologies. Go on.
I just really liked it. I liked the way her powers when at the end she was able to multiply herself and save the other girls. I like that they mentioned Ben Parker, and at the end she goes, he's glad he's an uncle. He goes, oh, he doesn't know what he has in store for him, and he says, I'm dating somebody, and it didn't mention May Parker. I like those little bits and pieces of the movie, and I didn't think this movie was bad at all, so sorry guys, I just really like it.
And that's the entire point of this show. Some people like things, some people don't, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, you're wrong. You are wrong.
Yeah.
It's fine for you to be wrong.
I wasn't drunk when I watched it either, guys, well, that wasn't that bad.
I just find it insulting that like you slap Sydney Sweeney in a really great Spider-Woman costume on the poster and in the trailers, and it's the last like 10 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
I just think that's shit. Like,
I think if they'd given me more of the costumed people earlier in the film, I might have liked it. Anyway, out of all of these images, guys, which is your worst here? For me, it's definitely Madam Web. What about you, James?
I mean, I can't really speak on Fantastic Four because I just can't. That's like, there's not many movies I like get 10 minutes into and just turn off because I'm just like, I can't. So that, I suppose I'd have to say that. But in terms of ones I've watched fully, I'd probably go Elektra. I think I'd dislike Elektra more than, because Madam Web, I think there's entertainment value in that.
How about you, Efren?
Even though I haven't seen this movie, I've seen snippets of it like on YouTube. I just Howard the Duck. I mean, that would really bug me seeing that movie. I just wouldn't want to. I don't think that's one movie I wouldn't want to watch.
And that's exactly why we'll probably try and make you watch it on a show with Efren. Right, chaps, let's just quickly jump to the chat before we move on to our next ones. Wayne is saying Elektra is a cool film. I think after this, you should take all the worst bits from these films and make a short parody movie. Yeah, that would be fun. Howard the Duck is awesome. You see, I remember enjoying it. I have to go back. The worst one's Madam Web. Sony should have known. The old bad films don't really know better. Yeah. We've got I can't pronounce that. Declan, DC Kalen. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining. Apologies if I'm getting your name wrong. Morok. Wayne always with the golden butt plug. Thanks, Wayne. You're right. Pure mints. Still never finished it. This is Fuzzy talking about Ant-Man. Ant-Man's not strong enough for a trilogy. Yeah, I think it was a mistake, Fuzzy, moving him into sci-fi realm. We should have kept him on Earth, grounded. We can always get a different Morok. Yeah. Fantastic Four reshoots were noticeable for Sue Storm. The actress had to wear a wig. I can't remember picking up on that. That's interesting.
Oh, it's so obvious. Yeah. When you watch it again, you're gonna know. Yeah,
I'm not watching it again. And when Fantastic Four ended, I thought it was the start of the third act. Yeah, and they were going off to have a proper fight with Doom. It was such a blunt end. Yeah, it just kind of ends. It's very, very strange. Wayne, not seen Madam Web yet. Give it a watch, Wayne. Let us know what you think. The best thing about Madam Web is that people were able to feed their kids from working on it. Yeah. I can't blame the crew. Yeah, that is very true. Josh Trank made Chronicle. Chronicle's an amazing film. I love that. Fantastic indie movie. They signed him up for Fantastic Four and it didn't deliver. Yeah, I think there was lots of shenanigans between Trank and the production company and things. Fuzzy, I don't think it wasn't an easy ride. I don't think. Fuzzy's telling Efren to tell you off, James, when you were talking there.
Yeah, it's because he snapped at me.
Yeah.
I thought he paused. I thought he was finished talking.
That's called breathing, James. But yeah, go ahead.
I'll try it sometime.
I can't get more in 10 minutes into Spider-Verse 2. I feel drunk watching it. Now, Dave, I had the audacity to say something similar on a show with an old colleague who we used to do shows with, where I basically said I felt like it was sensory overload because there was that much going on and lights flashing and different animation styles, and it gave me a headache. So I agree with you, Dave, and I got ripped to shreds for that. But yeah, no, I completely agree. I think for me at times, Spider-Verse, even though I love it, it was a bit too much on screen at the cinema. My eyes were hurting trying to watch it. Efren, I thought you were perfect and you just broke my heart.
Sorry.
Ant-Man 3, Wayne says, is the worst out of them. Webb is the worst, says Darkman. And Fuzzy, the duck is foul. See what you did there, Fuzzy. See what you did. Now, this one is controversial. And I'm interested if Efren's watched this. This is Captain America. This is the original Captain America.
Look at those ears.
Me and James watched this for one good scare. It's fair to say, James.
No, not for one good scare. I can be this all day.
Should have been one good scare. It's fair to say I liked this more than you did. Well, so what did you think of it?
I said it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That was awful, like truly awful, and I think it just didn't get really any of the spirit I felt of Captain America in it. There's like weird bits where like he pretends he's throwing up to get someone to get out of a car to help him, and then runs and steals the car. He does that multiple times in the movie, which I thought was sort of strange. Everyone's smoking in it. You know, I know it's the '90s thing, and everyone did back then, but still, like it was just I don't know. I just thought it was terrible, like really bad.
Efren, have you seen this one?
Guys, I seen it when it first came out, and I wouldn't want to see it again. So kudos to you guys, but it was so campy when it first came out. But there was nothing else to see compare Captain America to what it is now. They made the character with Chris Evans. But yeah, I saw it when it first came out. And I don't remember much about it, but I remember his costume was horrible. It was too comic book related, so to speak.
It's like a rubber kind of costume.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a long time ago. I don't remember anything about this movie.
Yeah.
It was a made-for-TV movie, right?
No, it's the theatrical.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, and then it went
Here was made for TV.
I thought there was something weird about that. Some regions, we in the UK, like in the UK and Ireland, got it in the cinema, but I think maybe in America it was direct to video.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on TV when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it was on CBS, same channel, same network as the Spider-Man movie, TV show.
So, I like this movie. You know what? I like this movie. I think it's got big issues. You're right, James. There are some bits that just boggle belief. I mean, you're saying, about him puking up and then running and steal the car. He does that twice, doesn't he?
Twice. It does it multiple times. Yeah, it's his thing. It's his strategic.
Yeah, it's his military training teaches him how to do that. How to
just deceive people.
Stop the car. And then he runs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But you know what? The scenes where he's in costume, and I would argue there's nowhere near enough of him in costume. That's the problem for the film for me. He's not Captain America for a lot of it. He's just wandering around with Steve Rogers. But the bits where he's Captain America, the start bit where he's taking down the Red Skull, superb makeup for the Red Skull. When
I like the Red Skull stuff. All the Red Skull stuff, I was like, this is cool. It gets really dark at points as well.
The fighting's very, very cool at the initial part. The end battle, I mean, I would argue is pretty darn good. The shield thrown is pretty darn good. I love the thank you, Mr. President. And he gives him a thumbs up. I think there's some good stuff in this film. It's interesting to watch again, Efren, if you get the chance, even just to fast forward for the Captain America bits. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. We've got a few people in the chat commenting. Wayne, I watched this years ago. Do you know what? If you can find it, it is worth giving it another watch. Fuzzy, the shield looks the part. It does, mate. And it when it connects, it's more realistic than the current MCU shield.
Oh wow!
When we commented, Efren, about the latest Captain America film, where the shield's literally bouncing around, hitting missiles, it's got a life of its own. In this one, I'm saying that. There's a bit where it flies over a cliff and then comes back to him, doesn't it?
Yes, there is. Yeah, I believe that.
Was there a second Captain America movie back then?
There was a one before this, which was weird because he was he was like a motorcycist, and he had like a
like Evil Knievel, and then
that's the one that
one got a sequel then. So there was two in the late 70s.
Okay. Yeah. So this one was in the 90s.
1990, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should watch it, Efren.
I don't think I've seen it. I see the one with the motorcycle. What year was that?
Oh, it was
79, 78, 79.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I did not know that at all. Maybe I will.
I think it was 77 and 79. There was two of them.
I'll try looking for it.
I'm just going to say, Efren, if you liked Madam Web, you will love this. This is I mean, it does take a little bit of a divergence. You know, I mean, I could never quite understand why the Red Skull was suddenly an Italian mafioso. That was.
I've never seen it. Is this on YouTube?
It is. I believe we watched it on YouTube. If I remember.
Okay, I gotta check it out now. Now I gotta check it out. I'm gonna do my own show on it.
There was a missing segment due to budget problems there. That's right. The budget, the cost of the film and stuff was even starting to cause issues near the end because the budget for the movie was a nightmare. Fuzzy saying, "Look at the wings." I like the costume, Fuzzy. It is very PVC, kind of almost like some kind of fetish scene thing, but it's pretty.
If I remember correctly, Peter, you said he has like a derp face or something like that.
I said he's got a very smug,
gormly. Because the word.
I think I said. He's got a very strange kind of face about him when he's latex mask.
But just when the latex is stretching, his face.
Never has caps of vibrating shield. Not quite so recyclable. I love you, dog. I love you too. Thank you very much. The president line, "I won't bail out on Captain America." Yeah, superb. And it's he's a big actor. The guy who plays the president, is he in RoboCop as well? I think.
Not Peter Weller. That's a great RoboCop.
No.
I've never seen.
Can't remember what else he's in. He's definitely in some of the Hot Shot movies, I think. But yeah, great actor. Docman saying there were 2 motorcycle Caps, 70s Caps films. The Cap film was called Blood Match in the Philippines. I didn't realise that, Fuzzy. That's a Blood Match. That's an interesting one. I wonder why they went for Blood Match. Strange. The production company collapsed. This came out 2 years before it did in America, 1990 here, and July 92 in America. Thank you very much, Fuzzy. That's right. Fake ears. I love the ears. I love the ears. Look at those lugs, man. Tremendous. Ronnie Cox. That's right. Ronnie Cox. Okay, so that's Captain America. I would happily watch this one again.
I'm never going to watch this again, ever.
I think, Efren, you're going to have to be the decider. You're going to have to watch this and then let me know what you think. Just to mention, shameless plug, we are doing channel membership now. We've got 10 members at the moment, which is fantastic. So please do have a little look-see at that and jump on if you fancy, but there is no pressure to do it.
Do it.
You're upsetting people, James. You're upsetting people. Okay. Again, these were all films that were mentioned by people on Instagram. We've got The Eternals now. I quite liked the end part of The Eternals, but that's about it. I didn't like the lead up. I liked the reveal bit, and then I liked the fight at the end. But other than that, I think this film for me suffers, and I'm interested in your thoughts, guys, in that this is very much a film I went into with no connection at all to the Eternals. It's never been a book or a series of characters that I particularly like or enjoy. And to be quite fair, and again, no disrespect, I haven't got any connections with any of these actors really either. So nobody really blew us away. The last battle in the film I thought was canny because it was very much a Superman versus Justice League kind of setup. But for me, this is another film that I just think not that bothered about. James, how about you?
I haven't watched it since the first time. I remember we did a review show on it, and I said that the first half is the worst MCU thing, and the second half is like one of the best. I think like it is dull as anything, boring, no redeeming features for the first half, and then once that twist happens in the middle, I just found it so unexpected. And I just loved it, and I was like, okay, that's what this movie's doing. I was like, great. And then I was captivated from that point. That fight sequence at the end is just incredible, I think. So yeah, I think it really, really turned the movie around. And there's just some amazing visuals in it. I think like a lot of the not Guardian, what are they called? The big Celestials. Just amazing, I think. So like how massive they are. Like one of them comes to Earth basically and standing over Earth, and it's just terrifying. So I think that's really cool. So I'd be curious to watch it again, see how I feel then. But I remember sitting in the cinema going, it was the first time I felt like I was watching an MCU film, and I was like, I don't like this. You know, it was a weird feeling. Yeah. But more and more recurring nowadays. But at the time, it was in a bit of a novelty, you know.
Yeah, it's nice that we got to see the Celestials again in the recent Cap movie, I guess, but Eternals just seem to have vanished. We ain't seen anything of them really.
Do you think we're ever going to get Harry Styles as Star Fox back? No.
That boat is sailed. Ephraim, what do you think of Eternals?
Real quick, James, what happened in the middle of the movie that made you?
The Icarus, turning on them, like being the villain. I just thought was amazing. Like, yeah.
I think the problem with this movie, to me at least, is that it didn't have like anything to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like there were no characters from like Captain America or Iron Man show up or something like that. It was almost like a standalone movie. And I think they were trying to catch fire like they did with Star-Lord and all those guys, Guardians of the Galaxy, that nobody thought it was going to be a good movie, but that was humorous, and it had really good actors. This one just didn't. It didn't even seem like it had anything to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know they mentioned Celestials and other things like that. They mentioned, the snap and everything, why they didn't participate, but that was it. And to me, this movie just didn't, connect with me at all. I agree with James. I saw it. It wasn't the worst movie ever, but I will never see it again.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Guardians. I mean, I was a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy before the movies came out of the Marvel version of Guardians of the Galaxy. But pretty quickly into the Guardians 1, you start to actually feel something for the characters, and you like them and all that stuff. With this, even when we get the death scene of one of the characters, I was like, I'm not interested in any of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't name half of them now.
No, me neither. Me neither.
Giglamesh, I think, was one of them. I don't know which one that was.
There was we didn't feel that emotional connection to them like we did with the Guardians of the Galaxy, for example.
Yeah. Strange. Yeah. We've then got Blade Trinity, the third in the Blade movie, featuring Ryan Reynolds, and obviously Wesley Snipes. Really interesting film when you go back and look at some of the issues on the production. Wesley Snipes really unhappy to be there, down to the point where at one point, bizarre, he refused to open his eyes, so they had to CGI eyeballs. What the hell is that?
When you know that, it's hilarious to watch. It's like he's on a slab and it's just fake eyes on him.
But it's like, why? Why would he just?
He was having a spat with Dave Discoyer directed it, wasn't it? So I think he had a spat with them, and I think there was some jealousy that he was kind of not the main star of it. Like he felt like Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel were kind of pulling from him. So yeah,
I remember. I mean, this is a one that again I have very little memory of, other than I think he's fighting Dracula.
Yes,
from memory, and I think the guy who plays Dracula was in Prison Break.
Dominic Purcell. He's in the Flash CW stuff as well, isn't he? Yeah,
Heatwave, I think, in the Flash.
Yep.
And I always remember thinking this is a pretty naff version of Dracula.
I would agree.
Yeah. So I don't remember it being offensively bad, but I think coming off the back of Blade 2, which I think is the best of the trilogy, this one suffered massively. Have you guys seen this one?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Not the best.
I think a bad Blade movie is still entertaining to me. Like I don't hate this one. I think I agree it's a pretty piss poor Dracula. But I think just like, I remember that the action, there was some good action in it. I liked Hannibal. I liked Ryan Reynolds in it. I thought he was good. The Whistler's Daughter stuff was interesting as well. So like, I think it's not terrible.
This is a one I would like to go back and rewatch, James, because I cannot remember much about it, and I love me a bit of Wesley Snipes. So yeah. We've then got Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of Vengeance. Now, I watched this just 2 weeks ago. I don't know why. I think it just popped up on Netflix or something. I thought, well, I'll give it a go. Wow, this is an interesting watch. The version of Ghost Rider we get is bonkers. I love the look of him in terms of kind of the charred costume and all the rest of it. Nicolas Cage has never been more insane in it. I mean, just absolutely batshit crazy. But the story's just awful. The pacing's awful. It's just not the best. Any of you guys seen it?
I tried to watch this maybe like 6 months ago. I got about 10 or 15 minutes in. I was like, oh, fuck this. I don't think I even got to Ghost Rider showing up, or maybe I got to the first Cage scene or something like that. I just couldn't be arsed. Which it's weird because I know it's the Crank directors. And I remember like the ads, like the vibe of it looked pretty cool, looked pretty crazy. Yeah. But I don't know why I just didn't see it in the cinema. I love the first Ghost Rider movie. I was hoping for a sequel for ages. But yeah, I just never gave it a go. I don't know. I don't think I missed much, did I?
No. You seen it, Efren?
Is this the one where they had the Western Ghost Rider? The
No, that's the first one.
That's the
that's
first
the
one.
first one. Okay. I don't think if I saw this, I erase it from my memory. So I don't think I saw this one.
It didn't have a cinema release. I think it went straight to video from memory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not the best. Not the best. And then we've got Thor: Love and Thunder. I think everybody knows my views on this film. I absolutely despise it. It's got some decent bits in it. Christian Bale, I would argue, is very good in it. He's massively wasted as the character, but he's got some good bits in it. For me, the humour in this is just absolutely atrocious, and it kills it dead. There's some horrible bits in it, like a dumpling god. What the hell they were doing there, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't stand it because Thor's and this might be because Thor's obviously the comic version of Thor is my favourite character, so this just feels like an insult to that character for us. So yeah, don't like this one at all. Efren, have you seen this one?
When they first announced it, that Jane Foster was going to be Thor, and she's so great in the comic books, I went, all right, this is going to be a good movie. But when they showed him doing the splits, I was like, oh my God, what are they doing to him? I like Thor when he doesn't take himself too seriously, but they made it too much, him as a comedic Thor, which I don't like at all. In the comic books, Thor is more seriously, obviously. I like the Thor from the movies. I mean, from the first Thor, they should have kept it. And, the Thor, when the second movie, I thought he was good in that one, but they just went overboard with not taking like life too seriously. And I just thought they're going to be, supposedly they're going to be making a Thor 4 because he signed up to do another one. I don't think they should have the same director. I think they should have I forgot who the first, Kenneth Branagh, I think was the
Kenneth Branagh did the first one. Yeah.
I think they should go a little bit more serious tone, but this movie, yeah, it was a letdown for sure.
James?
Definitely went too far with the humor, I think. There's some good stuff in it, though. I think the gore stuff is pretty interesting. I like the visuals of that and like his storyline and stuff. But yeah, definitely, you couldn't take the rest of the serious parts of the movie seriously because of how far the humor went.
Yeah.
In the other mountains, so it just doesn't gel well. I don't think it's like atrocious. And I remember like at the time saying, "Oh, this is okay," but like I as time has gone on, I've kind of my opinion on it's lowered and lowered.
Yep.
I think for me, knowing the comic books, and I remember we're talking about this when we saw the trailers and things for it, the storyline of the Mighty Thor, which is the Jane Foster character, is so heart-wrenching, because every time she changes, her cancer gets worse and all the rest of it.
Yes.
And it should have been handled with such delicacy, and it should have had emotional punch. And they do so many stupid, ridiculous jokes and stupidness about it. By the time she actually dies, it's like it had no impact at all, really. And I hate the fact that everybody at the end, all the little kids, are Thor. And it's like, yay, Team Thor! Everybody can do whatever they want.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, So yeah, not the best. No. So out of these four guys, worst one for you, Efren, which is your worst?
Gosh, that's a tough choice. I had to pick the Eternals, but it didn't even seem to be part of the MCU. No.
Okay, James.
I mean, I have successfully watched 3 of them, so I'll have to go for the one that I gave up on. But out of the ones I've seen, yeah, Thor. The second half of Eternals really saves it, so I think Thor probably overall.
I have 2 worst choices: it's Thor and the Eternals. They're hand in hand with each other.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's see what the chat are saying. Wayne Deacon, Harry Styles says it all for Eternals. Yeah. Darkwing, I almost subbed, which James had to go after Captain America again. I almost recovered from watching your original review, and I won compensation for my TST.
Apologies.
Thanks, James.
Sorry.
Eternals was hit and miss for me. I think the same for me. It starts poorly, but the end was okay. Even the biggest comic fans know nothing about Eternals. Yeah. It had no impact on the MCU whatsoever. Yep. Wasted opportunity. Completely agree, Fuzzy. See if we don't mean I want Black Knight. Yeah, it's a shame they wasted the character of Black Knight.
Do you remember when Blade showed up at the end? Yeah, that's probably the only time we're gonna get Marshall Ali as Blade. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Do you know what? I completely forgot about it. It was his voice, wasn't it? We didn't see him.
Yeah, it was like, are you going to pick that up, Mr. Whitman or something? Yeah.
People didn't know much about the Guardians, but Gunn made them interesting. Eternals did nothing like that. The costumes were all the same, just bland and boring. That's a great point, Fuzzy, because I remember at the time thinking the powers all seemed very similar and kind of interchangeable. I didn't really understand what was happening with some of them. Blade, Ryan Reynolds carried the film. Yeah, I think he did. Fuzzy was just about to mention the eye thing. It's a very strange situation. I don't understand what the hell that was all about. Wesley Snipes was also a monumental dick for large parts of his career. Yeah. I fell in love with, I can't pronounce that,
Beale.
Beale in the film. She was amazing.
Jessica Biel, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Dracula was naff, absolutely. So far, I've had every one of these on my list apart from the Cap film. Yep, you had a few good selections, Fuzzy, and a lot of yours came up multiple times. So you've obviously got good taste. Not seen Ghost Rider 2 since it first came out. It did come out at the cinema. I didn't realise it was out at the cinema. Nick Cage was just desperate to make another one. It's a lower budget and they ruined Danny Kesh. Yeah. Worst on screen has to be Thor. It's a story of a child kidnapping, cancer journey, and the worst of the Yo-Yo character, Thor character. Yeah. Idris Elba did his best in Ghost Rider. I was surprised to see him in
And Thor. He's in both of those
Thor.
movies.
Yeah. And Thor, yeah. Thor Crap and Thunder, the worst MCU film ever. Criminal, The Wasted Bale, such a bad film, shocking decision. Bale was superb in it, to be fair. Bale was very, very good. Fuzzy's right, that was Thor 4, so it's a fifth film they're going to be making. I keep forgetting about Dark World.
Gosh.
I like Dark World. Love the Thunder Kids, need to be redesigned a bit. Taki got loose and really doesn't care much about Marvel stuff. He just went crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think him and Chris Helmsworth were a bad combination for just improv. I didn't like the stuff where he was kind of talking to Molyneux and things as well. That was just weird. Excuse me. It was the first time I've seen a film in the cinema where I wanted to walk out after 15 minutes but had to stay as I was with the family. Wow. Don't mind the humour of Guardian. In the Guardian section, I would have liked it to end there and then get more serious when the deal. I think that's a great point. You expect it from the Guardians. Do you know what I mean? A bit of drivelity, I guess. Oh, God.
I like the guns. I think that brings up a good point, though, that I think a lot of the humor work is funny, but it's just not. It's not in suiting the movie. Do you know what I mean? I thought the bow thing in a Pixar movie would be funny, but not in an MCU thing. It's how is there a dumpling god or something? You know? The goats I did laugh at. I thought that was funny. Just
I laughed at the goats the first twice, I think, and then it was between Ghost Rider 2 and Eternals for him in terms of worst one. If they'd wanted Snipes to keep his eyes open, they should have told him that the taxman was hanging around somewhere and said, absolutely. A love story between hammers, what a joke. Absolutely. Right, now, the next one that was sent in riled us because I love this film.
I loved it too.
This is Fantastic Four. Ephraim's shaking his head. Ephraim, have you seen it, Ephraim?
I never saw it years and years. There was bootleg copies of it.
Yeah.
My cousin got one when we were at Comic-Con, and he comes to my house and he puts it on the DVD. I walked out. I go, for some reason, I just had an aversion to this. I do not want to see this. You can watch it. I went to my backyard and hung out there for as long as it took him to see this movie. I said, there's just something about this movie that I just said, no. I wouldn't even come near it. So no, I never saw it.
I remember this doing the rounds at all the conventions and things on, you see, old bootleg videos and things. And I remember getting a copy when I was much, much younger. And I think, like you, Efren, I think I got through 10 minutes of it and thought, this is rough. But then me and James decided to watch it. Was this first or second episode?
Second. Cap was first, I think. Yeah.
Just because of the reputation it's got. If you want to check it out, you can get it on YouTube, I think, in an HD remastered kind of version of it. The story behind it's really, really interesting. There's a great documentary on either Netflix or Amazon called Doomed, which is the story all about it. It's got a fascinating kind of production history. These guys were completely screwed over by Avery, I think, is that what it is?
Avi Arad.
Yeah. In Marvel, and to be fair, Stan Lee at the time, the treat them appallingly. Now the film. some shockingly bad special effects. There's no getting away from that. But that's because I had like £3.50 to do all the special effects. However, the costumes, including the thing, the story, the interaction between the Fantastic Four cast, it's stunning. I absolutely loved it. I had issues at time with Doom. He was very much a kind of a panto villain.
Loved him.
I loved this film. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love Doom. I think the problem for me was that like they didn't dub him, so the voice lines are like he's muffled behind his mask and stuff, which is kind of funny. But like I felt that this had like so much harsh to it. Like I think you can tell that the people who made this, who were unaware this was just a rights grab, basically. Really wanted this to be a good movie, and people really tried, and I thought it had a really great score. It was fun. Like I was really taken, and I don't know if it's because my expectations were so just in the dirt going into it. I had a really good time, and I was like, wow, this is actually like pretty captivating.
I think what the reason I didn't watch it because it ruined my idea of what the Fantastic Four is about. I'm just talking about the comic books. I thought it was just going to ruin it. So I just said, nope, I didn't want to watch. Now I kind of want to watch it, though.
Do you know what, Efren? It's really interesting you saying that, because I remember when we recorded our video about this one, having read a lot of Fantastic Four comics, this is I think, the truest representation of the relationships between this team. It feels like a family. They feel like they care about each other. I think you should give it a go, Efren, just to see what you think. You have to go in open-eyed, mind. The budget was horrendous. The special effects at times are appalling. There are some very strange scenes, like the bit with he's not even the mole man, is he? The funny little thief man.
As the jeweler.
The jeweler.
Yeah, because they couldn't have mole man.
Yeah, it's all a bit weird. Yeah, and it's got that classic scene at the end of Reed's hand basically on a broomstick waving out the car. It's like, but yeah, I loved it. I loved the costumes. I loved this film. It's a guilty pleasure. C4 Darkman also enjoys this one. Yep, Roger Corman movie. I don't know how James can find joy in this film, but not Cap. I think that's a great point, Darkman.
I don't remember the Fantastic Four ever stealing anyone's car or deceiving anybody, so maybe that's why.
Wayne's never seen it. Wayne, it's well worth watching, bud. It is well worth watching. Could you imagine if I got
that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Council of Reeds would be very cool.
Because they're not going to be expensive to get to show up in that. You know what I mean? Like that's a fun cameo. Like that costing $10,000 total probably.
Do you know what? That would be superb. I would love that, actually. I would love that. Okay, guys, we're getting near the end. We've got a few things to talk. Before we finish the show, we've got a few more films to talk about, and then I've got a couple of slides on some news to talk about. But we'll rapidly go through these. The Marvels. 4 or 5 people suggested The Marvels. I enjoyed this film.
I liked it too. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I thought this was good fun. It's got silly bits in it. I thought the action was good. Thor Dark World seems to get a lot of grief. It's not got the best villain, I think Eccleston.
It was for a long time the worst MCU thing. But like that was a high bar. Do you know what I mean? So like it compared to like Electra or whatever, like it was amazing. So like it was just okay at a time where okay wasn't good enough for MCU. Now, I mean, you'd kill to have a movie this good. Nowadays you'd be like, oh, we got away with it, Yeah.
Craven I can't comment on because I've still not seen it.
I have neither.
Me neither.
No.
I think it's coming to Netflix in the next month. So it'll be hitting Netflix in the month. We'll have to do a review on that because that'll be interesting. James, Spider-Man 3.
Love it. A lot of nostalgia. I love it. And even the things people hate in it, I still love. I thought Topher Grace Venom was interesting. You see what they're going for, I think it is like crammed and it's trying to do like 4 different Spider-Man stories at once. I get that. But I think it's not that far down in terms of quality to the other 2 movies in the series.
What do you think of it, Efren?
I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I loved the way Sandman came out in it, and I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with it. Was it as good as the first 2? No, obviously, but I thought it was entertaining.
I'm surprised that the grief people throw at this one. I mean, I certainly think it's the worst of the three of those original movies. For me, this is a bit like it's got your typical trilogy issues in terms of like the Batman trilogy. It's number 3 of this where it suddenly goes from being quite a serious thing to almost campy at times. Like there's a bit where do they write something in a giant web, and the news reporter seems totally over the top, and it was like, oh, this feels a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to throw a fact out about the woman that played that reporter, but it's very sad, so I'm not gonna.
No. I don't think it's a horrendous film. Now, what is a horrendous film, from my personal point of view, is Dark Phoenix. That's an awful film. You guys seen that one?
I like it.
Never saw it.
I've no issues. I don't understand what people have. Same with Apocalypse. Like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Apocalypse. Dark Phoenix is just awful to the point.
Why is it awful?
Look, I'm just saying. You're interrupting again, James. Will you let people talk?
Go on.
Christ. You like Trump? Honestly, you like Trump? Please, may I speak? Please. You know, I just don't like the film. I think the film's horrendous. I think the bad guys in it are awful to the point where, you know, the lead actress, I can't remember what her name is, the lead bad guy, has gone on record at the end and saying, I don't even know what my character was. Nobody ever
Jessica
told us.
Chastain.
Yeah, nobody ever told us what race I was, what I was meant to be, what I was meant to be doing, anything like that. I think the fact that they bump off some of the main characters in such a kind of a ad hoc way, yeah, I just didn't enjoy it.
I will say one of the only things I remember in it.
I'm not finished, James.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Stop pausing.
I didn't pause.
You did pause.
I think some of the performances are good. I will give you that. I do think some of the performances are good. But yeah, I just didn't like it.
In the poster, who's the character on the left? The tall girl with the white hair.
That's the villain. Jessica Chastain.
Nobody knows. So that's
she's an alien.
She's some kind of alien thing. Efren.
Okay, I've never seen the movie, so
okay. I did. To be fair, the only thing I really I remember the opening sequence because they're in space, and then Mystique dies, and then I remember the bit where Magneto like pulls the train apart, and I thought that was really cool. I don't remember that much else from the movie, but I remember at the time in the cinema going, I thought that was pretty good. Like, so.
It's got the same for me as Eternals. It's got kind of a nondescript CGI monstery thing that they don't flesh out or explain at all, really. So yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Venom 3. Now this one was mentioned by a couple of people. It seems to split the pack a little bit because some people love these Venom movies. I don't like them at all, and I thought Venom 3 was the worst of the 3 films for me personally. What do you guys think of Venom 3?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
Didn't even bother going. So the Sony stuff, I just after Madam Web, I'm just like, I'm not going to even support these by watching them, you know, like, so no.
I think I just don't like the portrayal. Again, it's the whole comedy thing. I don't like the portrayal of Venom as a funny character, and this one had two dance sequences in it for no reason at all, you know. Like he goes to Vegas and bumps into the store owner from the first one, and they just have a bit of a dance off, you know. It's been established in the film that every time he turns into Venom, these creatures know where he is and instantly hunt him down. So his whole purpose for the first part of the movie is to not turn into Venom. He then sees Mrs. whatever she's called and thinks, oh, I'll turn into Venom and dance. And the creature comes to Vegas and says, well, what are you... Yeah, it's not good. Not good. So, right, chaps, worst out of all of those movies for you. For me, it is, without a shadow of a doubt, Dark Phoenix, because I haven't seen Craven yet. James, what about you?
I like all the movies here that I have seen. So, like, I don't know. I have Craven because I didn't bother to see it.
That's a cop out, yeah. Keegan. You must like one less.
I would say Dark Phoenix in terms of like quality is the lowest of the ones I've seen. Because I love Spider-Man 3. I really enjoy the Marvels, and I think Thor: The Dark World's underrated. So I'll give you that one. I'll say Dark Phoenix.
We saw the Marvels together? I think, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I wouldn't share my nachos, would I?
No,
Efren,
even though I bought them. I bought you
Who
nachos and
shares nachos?
you wouldn't give me. I wanted
I don't
one.
want
I
your
wanted to
sausage
taste.
fingers in
What
nacho
are the
cheese.
what's the
bastard.
nachos in the cinema taste like? You know, like you give me a. I
Buy
offered you
your
some.
own. Don't stick
I
your
offered
hands
just
in
some
mine.
popcorn.
Don't stick
I
your-
offered just some popcorn.
Efren, which one's your least favorite out of these ones?
I haven't seen it, but they were making such a big deal about it, trying to say, "Hey, this is a good movie. Give it a chance. You know, you got to watch this movie." And it's the Craven movie. Even with all the delays, I knew this movie was going to tank. You know, they were basically begging the audiences to go watch this movie. So I go, this movie's been delayed so much, and I don't understand what Sony is doing. Who's in charge at Sony? But they should. I think they stopped making these movies. They should just stop and say, we give up. Give all the rights back to Disney or whatever, because they don't know what they're doing. The only good thing about Sony has been the animated Miles Morales movies.
Yeah,
That's very true.
You know,
Very true.
they should just stop.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys. Efren, just to be clear, if we went to the cinema, I would obviously share my nachos with you. Okay.
Okay.
Just
it did feel personal, I have to say.
Okay. A few comments. Darkman. I'm going to steal your car, James. If you don't have one, I'll buy you one.
I don't have one actually, so help yourself.
Marvels I enjoy the same as Dark World. Dark World suffered from heavy editing, yeah. I heard stories of having more dark elf scenes. Christopher Eccleston was, I mean, he didn't even wait really until after the movie. He was very proactively negative about the movie.
At the red carpet, he didn't want to. You could tell he didn't want to be there at all. Like,
Wow.
He comes across as a grumpy bugger, like I have to say. Big Dave, Spider-Man 3, Shock and Venom, Last Dance. Good God, but Sony Marvel is dead finally. Yeah, it is. Hopefully. Now, wrong with the Marvels. Got way too much hate from the usual Doommongers. Agreed, Fuzzy. And enjoyed Marvels.
Good point.
Dark Phoenix is dog shit. I agree.
I have to watch it again.
I think with Dark Phoenix, they knew everything was going downhill and they just didn't care anymore.
I think the Marvel deal had gone through at that point, so like we knew that there was not going to be any more. So it was just like, all right, let's get this over with. You know, that and New Mutants.
So this is a really interesting point because that's exactly right. I think they were initially supposed to be Skrulls, but then Marvel probably had Secret Invasion coming or whatever, so they changed their mind, told them they couldn't use the Skrulls or something, and then it just turned into a generic whatever it was meant to be.
Yeah, because Skrulls were like in a weird cross section where both had rights to them or something.
Because they were in Fantastic Four and Avengers.
Yeah.
We all knew the Dark Phoenix story, and they still made a complete mess of it twice, Fuzzy, haven't they? Because X-Men Last Stand is Dark Phoenix as well.
I like Last Stand.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
I stopped at Venom 1. I was smart. Yeah, probably the best move. Venom films lean too much into comedy. They did the funny well, but I don't enjoy it in Venom. Yeah. Again, good point. Between Craven and Dark Phoenix for me. We'll have to watch.
The trailers for Craven, after the action look pretty good, so I'm curious if it even has.
The action in Madam Web looked pretty good in the trailers, didn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll give it a go. We'll have a look. Last one, guys, and this is a one again I have not watched, but I'm keen to watch. I don't think either of you have seen it either.
Oh God.
I've seen bits of it. I've not seen that. I think I did. I think it was on TV once, and I saw like half an hour of it when I was like 9 or 10.
So this is also one of those made-for-TV pilot movies, and it didn't get picked up after that. So this is David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. from 1998. So it's not that long ago, really. I love me a bit of Hoff. So I would be keen to try and find this somewhere and see if it's any good. But neither of you guys have seen it?
No. I think I would have, but no, I just never saw it,
I think I've seen a bit of it, not the whole thing. Or I don't remember, it was so long ago.
So yeah, I want to check that one out. Let me know in the chat if you've seen Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hasselhoff's look on the part there, mind, I have to say.
Yeah.
It does look interesting. Was there not a Generation X movie at some point? There was, Fuzzy. There was. I never saw it, but that's another interesting one to try and dig out. There's loads of movies that were made and kind of vanished. Do you know what I mean? That I think were made for TV or whatever to start shows, but just went nowhere.
There was some kind of live action X-Men
Mutant X
show. Mutant X, yeah.
There was a New Mutants movie a couple years ago that finally came out too.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was pretty good.
Me too.
It's what you call it, isn't it?
Maisie Williams.
No. She played Magic.
Oh,
Anya Taylor.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she was super
Amazing.
good in it.
She's a crap, yeah. Fantastic.
And I've got my favourite mutant Cannonball's in it. So yeah, I loved that. It was
Yeah.
good movie. Wayne watched Nick Fury. Said it was good. Okay, we'll have to watch that one then. I've seen Nick Fury. It wasn't too bad. Fuzzy didn't bother me. This. Ooh, you see, we're going to have to check this one out. I think, James, this one sounds interesting.
No, I'm going to piss everyone off, though. When I hate it, I'm going to piss everybody off.
It's got Baron von Strucker in it in Frozen Tube.
Is it like Strucker's daughter or something? It's coming back to me a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Big Hero 6 was also a Marvel property first. Yeah, it was. And I like that. That movie's very cool.
I've never seen it.
You ever seen the animated Big Hero 6? Not
I know it. I know the beta.
Is it called
Big Hero 6.
No, the movie is it called Big Hero 6? It's not, man. It's I'm thinking Baymax. Because he's in Big Hero 6, isn't
There's a show, isn't there, that they did afterwards, but the movie is Big Hero 6.
Yeah. You think we listen to you, James?
Very fair. Very true. Strucker's daughter. Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, so a few people mentioned Disney, good old Disney, and that Marvel and Star Wars has gone down the pan since Disney got involved. I don't want to linger on this long, guys, because we're getting on for time, but what do you think? Has things turned to cack? My personal view is, even though we don't like it, or some people don't like a lot of the stuff Disney's putting out there, at least they're putting out content, I guess. And I wonder how much we would have gotten if Disney hadn't taken over.
I was literally just thinking this today because I was watching a YouTube video on the George Lucas signing over to Disney. Was on it, and I was like, yeah, well, we just didn't get Star Wars things back then. Like, you know, there was 2 movie trilogies 20-something 30-something years apart, so at least we get regular Star Wars stuff, and I remember that being the exciting thing about Disney buying them. So like, you know, for better or worse, like, we have more Star Wars content than ever.
I don't know, for me, if it's necessarily Disney interfering or whatever, or if it's more just that I'm becoming a little bit more jaded now, and I'm becoming a bit, dare I say, bored with some of the
You've
stuff.
always been a bit of a miserable bastard, though.
I have. That is true. I spend a lot of time with you. It kind of quells my enthusiasm for stuff. You know what I mean? Efren, what do you think?
No, I don't think they've done. I mean, I just think they need new people in charge of the Star Wars, you know, specifically. You know, there was a big thing about Kathleen Kennedy leaving, and then she said, "No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere." You know, so I'm not sure if she's going or staying, or she's just moving, doing other things. But no, I think it's been good. I mean, I don't think there would have been as many films out if it wasn't for Disney being in charge of Star Wars specifically. So I just think they need fresh ideas and maybe new people in charge.
I think that's probably a good point, Efren. I think we've had the same people kind of orchestrating a lot of this for a long time, haven't we? At Marvel and Disney, really.
Yes.
Maybe we do need some fresh blood, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, chaps. Interesting. Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to do a little bit of news just before we go, because we're not doing a news show for a little while. So there is a few things I just wanted to mention, guys. Just seeing Fuzzy saying, yeah, in a way, MCU has spoiled the genre for us. Nowadays, if something isn't Infinity War or Endgame, then it's labelled a flop. I think that is true, Fuzzy. I think that is true. So, a little bit of news. Just wanted to mention this. Don't want to get into it in detail, but we've had the leaks. Obviously, over the last 2 days, there's been tons of images flying around. Everywhere you look, there are images. The Marvel employee who we think put the stuff out there has interest.
It disappeared. Yeah, it's probably in a ditch somewhere.
The website and everything has vanished, and just no longer on social media or whatever.
Snapped away.
Snapped away. I don't want to go into it, guys, because this is one of the things I was thinking about. I have seen the images, and I know you guys will have as well, and I don't want to spoil it for people in the chat. I think part of my lack of enjoyment at times with Marvel films now is that I've just seen everything before it hits the screen. Do you know what I mean? And whether if that's trailers or if it's the leaks and things or whatever it may be, I don't know. But we're living in an age where, you know, we've got people taking photos on film sets and things, and people sending out pre-images and all kind of stuff, and it just kind of spoils it a little bit. Darkman's asking, what are the leaks? Google Marvel leaks, mate, and you'll see all. If you want to see it, you'll see all kinds of stuff. There's some concept artwork for a number of Marvel movies and things coming up. And it's
Mostly Doomsday.
yeah,
stuff.
mostly Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's got some. If they're going ahead with it, and if they're right, it's got some big spoilers in, which could be pretty impressive. So yeah, so lots out there if you want to go and check those leaks out. Big Dave's just saying about Disney. It got a lot weaker. It's become a gravy train for quantity over quality. That is true. They pump out a lot of stuff.
I would just point out that. Sorry?
I'm sorry. I'm just saying that's true as well. Wayne.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Funkos and Lego.
It's concept art, and there's like I was only looking. There was someone on X posted like, oh, I'm just posting this concept art for other Marvel movies just because, and it was like what's that in Doctor Multiverse of Madness? What's the girl name again?
American Chavez.
Yeah, it was her showing up in No Way Home, like bringing or Mysterio fighting Doctor Strange or stuff like that. So like take all this with a grain of salt. I think that some of the design stuff will carry over, or like there's certainly hints to comic book storylines that are going to be some loosely adapted at least, and I think that's probably gonna ring true.
You're absolutely right. Because some of the images of, I don't want to spoil it for people, of groups or a group that were talked about a long time ago, and I think the train has moved off that track. I think we're not.
I feel like that too.
Anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, bit more news. This I thought was interesting. Matthew Lillard, who everybody knows as James's favourite person,
Yes.
Has been cast in season 2 of Daredevil. Now, the interesting thing for me with that was that I didn't even realise that they jumped straight ahead with season 2 of Daredevil. So they must be very.
It's filming. It's started filming.
Yeah, but I'm saying I hadn't realised I'd missed.
It's out next year. Yeah, it's moving fast.
Moving fast. I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
For this. Efren, you're a big Daredevil fan. Are you excited? We've got a couple of stills in a minute about some of the images from Daredevil, which will be out.
Did they say what character he's going to be playing? I thought it was going to be Ben Urich, the reporter.
Did he not? Was he not in the TV?
Oh, he
series?
was.
He died in season 1.
Yeah, he was.
I think he's the owl. So in the first season we have the owl, and he mentions that my son Leland. So that's the owl's like dad. So they set up that another version of Owl will come down the road and be that character's son, and I feel like that would be a good fit. Like he'll be a crime boss kind of thing. I think that'd be really interesting. So I hope he's a villain. I really want to see him as a villain.
You see, I have to say, very stereotypical. I look at him and I think Efren's right. I think some kind of reporter or something.
Yeah.
If I haven't got the Ben character anymore, it might be that he fills in that void in some way, But yeah, looks interesting. We've had the first image of the Sentry from the up-and-coming Thunderbolts movie. Looks very good. Looks comic accurate. Are you guys excited for this film? Efren's shaking his head.
I think it will pleasantly surprise everybody.
I'm excited for the film. I'm not excited for this character, Sentry. They have not known what to do with him in the comic books. He's like the most powerful being, but he's just weak-minded. He's got, problems, and I don't think they can get him straight. And I don't think they're going to do him justice in this one. I just don't think they will. I don't think they know how to, do right with this character. Yeah. I'm not sure why he's in this movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a strange character for the Thunderbolts to face off.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's picking us up. You're moaning about leaks and show the Sentry.
This is in the trailer. This is actually from a screen grab from one of the newer trailers, so it's not
just
a leak.
Just before we go, Dave's put a lot of stuff about Disney. Just because we get things we may not have gotten them doesn't make them good. That's true, but sometimes there is some good comes out of it. I loved Skeleton Crew. Actually, Dave.
So did I.
Yeah, let us know what you think of Skeleton Crew. Because we got them, it doesn't balance quality. Some of the quality's been poor. I will agree with you on that. Fuzzy's saying they wrote 18 episodes, so it makes sense that they've broken it into 2 seasons.
That's fair.
Perfectly
actually,
right, Fuzzy.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
I didn't think of that, mate. Looks like He-Man from behind. Yeah. Good to see you. See you on Friday. Yeah, looking forward to it.
See you, Dave.
Dave, it should be a good night. Posh place we're going to, aren't we? So yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, I think it looks interesting. I'm with you, Efren. I think it's an interesting character for the Thunderbolts to be facing off, because really, Sentry's like he's like a Thanos level character in the comics, and yeah, it's just going to be interesting. They've come out and said that we're not getting any more Moon Knight TV shows. Sorry, there are no plans for a Moon Knight follow-up show at the moment. I don't know how I feel about that. I think in my head, I'm thinking I don't mind if we don't get a Moon Knight show if we get a Midnight Suns show instead, if he's part of an assembled cast.
Yeah. I feel like, though, where you left that character, like, you need to give him some time to address parts of that storyline where that's gone now, do you know? Like, maybe do a special presentation to kind of tell that story and then have him in the team-up stuff where you don't need to, he doesn't need to be the main character.
I mean, I enjoyed the show. Did you like the show, Efren?
I enjoyed the show. That they're not going to they're not going to continue with him. I'm not heartbroken over it. I liked it. And if there was another season, I'd watch it because it was enjoyable. But it's nothing like, oh my God, they're not going to show him anymore now.
And that's a good point. I think there's that many characters at Marvel, not everything's got to be a trilogy of movies or an ongoing series. A one-off's good enough. Do you know what I mean? A one-off series or a one-off episode.
Yeah.
Like I say, I would like to see him back in a team up with Blade or things like that. Dave saying, I thought Skeleton Crew started well and just got poor very quickly. I totally disagree. I think it got better as it went on.
Yeah.
We can talk about it on Friday night, mate. It'll be the Void, I reckon, for most part of it. Yeah, I think you're right, Fuzzy. I think we saw some of the characters kind of turn into dust in the movie, in the trailer, which was interesting. Oscar Isaac was good. The show was all over the place at times, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ooh, Lillard could play Mr. Fear. That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Couple of other news bits for you guys. Marvel Studios pauses development on 3 Disney series. They've paused Nova, which I'm devastated about. Strange Academy, didn't even realise they were working on that. And Terra Inc. I remember.
Didn't know they were working on that.
I remember them mentioning it a while ago, but it's a really strange one. I've not read a lot of Terra Inc.
Why can't they just get Nova happening? Like, I don't understand it at all. Bizarre.
I mean, for me, Nova could be a cracking one,
Yeah.
So I'm not sure on that. We've got our first image of the James Gunn DC, well, not linked to the movie universe, but the new Green Lantern series. Pretty standard set image, I guess, but yeah, I'm quite excited for this. I think this could be quite cool. Fuzzy saying Terra Inc. is a ridiculous idea. Am I right, Fuzzy, in thinking Terra Inc., I'm sure I've read a mini-series, does he basically decompose and he's got to kill people and take over their body parts or something?
Yeah, I remember reading this book. I think you're right.
Yeah,
It's a long time ago, though.
I think that's what he's all about. Oscar Isaac's supposed to be in Doomsday. Okay, that would be interesting. JL is part of the new movie universe. I'm sure I read something, Darkman, saying that James Gunn had said it wasn't. It was a standalone TV property. It wasn't going to be linked to the movies.
No, it's a movie universe.
Yeah, maybe I've read
DCU. Almost everything is DCU now. They announced like 10 animated series the other day. They're all DCU.
Okay. I must have been. So I was reading something the other day, and James Gunn had said that it was a standalone show, not linked to his movie or something. So maybe he's not. And then we've got Ed Harris cast in Wonder Man. Ed Harris is a big name. I like Ed Harris a lot, so I'm not particularly excited for this show.
Do you know the character?
Yeah.
Simon Williams?
I like the original character. Yeah.
Original Wonder Man. Yep.
No, I mean the character that Ed Harris is playing.
Oh no, sorry.
Is that character from the comics? No.
No. It's said that he's going to be playing his agent.
So of course, yeah. Simon Williams is Wonder Man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a fun role. I think that could be really, really interesting. I thought this was like filmed and everything though.
Well, that's what I thought because we've seen some images, haven't we?
Yeah,
sure.
months ago.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about that. And then we've had a new trailer or a new kind of scene from Daredevil. You guys caught up with this little scene yet?
No, I'm just going to wait to watch it in the show. It's just Bullseye fighting Daredevil, isn't it?
Yeah. It's only for a couple of minutes with that. But it's got that very much that original Daredevil kind of pace to it where it feels real in that they're not just bouncing off each other. When they get stabbed, they stop and they have a breather and then they hit each other again. Great little scene. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think that's going to be very, very cool. I'm excited. It's not long, is it? When is it?
Tomorrow.
Is it?
Tomorrow, it'll be midnight tomorrow US. So I think 2 a.m. for us or something.
We'll have to get our
like
Daredevil recorded then.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's just saying there's a new show called My Adventures with Green Lanterns coming. Starfire animation and Teen Titans live action announced. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff coming. My Adventures with Green Lantern, I think that's similar to the My Adventures with Superman.
I think
which
it's
I quite enjoyed.
a spin-off of that, yeah.
I just read somewhere that James Gunn wants to do 7 shows per year. Not just movies, TV shows, and animated shows. He wants to do 7 per year.
I think it was 7 projects, so there'd be 2 animated movies, 2 animated shows, and 2 movies, and then maybe a video game or something like that in there. So
it's a lot,
isn't it? Like I'd be worried of just oversaturation of are they going to just kill interest in superhero stuff altogether?
One of the arguments we had with the DC universe was that they saw the MCU success and tried to emulate that, but they didn't have the build up. They went straight in almost at Justice League. I would hope Gunn doesn't do similar.
Well, because Marvel MCU did try multiple 6 projects a year, and how did that turn out? Yeah. I
think as Dave was saying earlier, the quality starts to dip then when you do that. Yeah. Okay, that's the whack, guys. That was really interesting. Thank you very much. Ephraim, what have you got coming up on your channel, mate?
I'm trying to bring back my read of the week. I should do read of the week's comic book. I have one ready. I just got to record it and put it on. Hopefully I'll put it on tomorrow. I still do, hopefully next week with my cousin, Momo Comics, up on comics. If not, Peter, I'll be giving you a call. We could do another one. Just having fun whenever I'm on your channel or our channels. Or we're going to do our advanced orders coming up probably in a couple of weeks. It's my turn.
Next
so
week.
send me the slides. Yeah. Whenever they come up. Yeah. Just chilling.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. James, one good scare. We haven't got a show on Friday, so when are we looking at doing it?
No, we're doing one on Saturday, yeah? Saturday. So we're going to have one good scare live then, so we push back a day. I'll be right back on Doc Soldiers. That is out at the moment, so check that out. That's good. It's a good one. We have our spoiler reviews for Companion, non-spoiler for The Monkey. And we'll be doing spoilers for The Monkey and Hard Eyes coming up as well. And then I'll be right back on Leprechaun 2 will be next. So excited for that. If we do it soon enough, Pete, we could get Leprechaun 3 in before Paddy's Day. So let's try and get that watched quick. No. And then over on James T. Keegan, I recently did a live stream. I played a bit. I was just doing a tester basically for One Good Scare for playing video game stuff, and it was fun. So I did just an hour of Astrobots. I might do a few live streaming things over there. So yeah, just stay tuned for that anyway.
Lots of good stuff going on, and so check that out. Matt saying thanks everyone, have a great week. Thank you very much. Alex, it is, mate. We're just wrapping up. You can go back and rewatch. I think horror James is better than comic James. I think they're 2 different people.
Fair.
Yeah. Over on my channel, we've got a few different things out. So we've got Comic Book Clunkers looking at Elseworlds Tales. We've got Pop Culture Playback on Street Hawk, and also just one's gone out Friday, I think, about Buffy and the Buffy universe. We've also got I Can View This All Day on the Ang Lee Hulk and the other Hulk that we've just done recently. Next Tuesday's live show will be this Tuesday. Sorry, this Tuesday's live show is Let's Talk Toys, where myself, James, and Simon will be chatting about all the different action figure and gaming news. So that's this Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Tuesday after that will be myself and Ephraim doing our picks for May. Ephraim, I think it'll be. Yeah, books coming out in May. So that'll be coming out soon as well. Yeah. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Really, really do appreciate you all jumping in, particularly as this was a bit of a kind of a pull together at the last minute. We weren't planning on doing this one. So thank you for all jumping in and watching. And with that, we'll call it a night. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
The curtains close, it's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun, and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your Yeah, that's